What's up, everybody? I've got my other camera. I forgot my actual good camera. So we're going to see how well this reports for us. If you come in, drop your city and state and hit the like button because we got to talk about it. So today, the craziness of today is Walmart. Walmart had crashes. Now, what do I mean Walmart had crashes? Does anybody know what Walmart to Walmart is? Please put a 1 in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. Because if I start talking and you're like, explain what that is, put a 1 in the chat if you know what Walmart to Walmart is. One, okay, we got some ones. Okay, I'm gonna look like I'm gonna have to explain what Walmart to Walmart is. So you have Western Union, you have Quick Pay, all these different ways to quick pay. Walmart to Walmart is the same thing. Walmart wanted to get in on all these people, and this goes back to another argument, so I'm doing it for a reason. Walmart to Walmart sends all this money cash. Western Union, cash. All these people are doing cash. MoneyGram, cash. So when people sit here and tell me about the economy, look at the actual economy. Don't tell me what you think you know or you read these reports. Tell me about the real economy. The real economy is Walmart. Hundreds of Walmarts, Walmart to Walmart crashed today. Louisiana, Texas, Mississippi, Florida, Georgia crashed today. Parts of New York crashed today. Why did they crash, folks? Why did they crash? There's a lot of money in the marketplace. No matter what everybody out here tries to say, everybody broke. They own their last dollar. There's some grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle who has some cash somewhere, will dig it out of their mattress, walk over to the Walmart, put it in there and give it to you. And when they crash today, again, it's going to be one of those things where you tell people, see, people, you need to have a bank. Y'all keep acting like 47% of Americans don't have actual banking. They don't even got a credit union. They ain't got no bank. They just wanted cash checking places. They're doing, PayPals. Like when my drivers got hired on, me and my drivers asked me, well, do you have a prepaid card you could just put my money on? I go, no, what's your bank account? And to this day, I have 3 drivers who I have to, we're going to end it next week, send money to Walmart or Western Union, their paycheck, because they can't receive it any other way. So when people sit here and try to tell me something, I know what I'm looking at. You're talking about grown men who get $10,000 to $12,000 a month trucking with no bank account. So imagine old girl down the corner who Logan Steakhouse was giving her a prepaid debit card and her pay would go on there. And PayPal, who is the bank for millions of people. Don't tell me about the economy if you don't know the real economy, if you're not out here participating in the actual economy, if you don't have your boots on the ground. And I just took my boots off to do this show, so you guys are very welcome. So when I have, and here's the thing, why is this important? Tomorrow, I know because I'm in trucking and because I know several people in executive levels in various companies, Walmart and Target are gonna have slowdowns tomorrow. They're not gonna let as many people in because y'all been out here living y'all best life at Walmart, living your best life at Target every day to the point that the government's like, y'all got so much foot traffic, it's ridiculous. So if you see something different at Walmart and Target tomorrow, don't say your girl didn't tell you. Don't say I didn't let you know. Okay, just let's make that very clear. Don't say Erica didn't tell you. Now, part of what you have going on is, and I'm in a different mood today. It's Freedom Friday, but there's a lot of what I notice in my industry is I put my head down and I actually work. I actually have a business. I actually have several black men employed by me, several white men employed by me. I have a male manager here. I've got another male mechanic that works for me. So I'm actually in the actual, world. I'll be careful how I say this. I see what's happening on the ground. I see people who are conditioned to get paid every Friday. And if they don't get paid every Friday, they are going to be have issues, severe financial issues. And I get frustrated when I come on here because I'm an actual business person. I have actual 2 different companies that are going to make $1 million. Well, more than $1 million. This one's going to make way more than $1 million this year. And so when someone tries to tell me, oh, no, you don't know what you're talking about, that pisses me off. I'm actually out here in the real world slaying real dragons. And when I go to Walmart and I sent, I have 10 trucks here, so we got lots of drivers that needed the money. JG Wentworth need their money now. When I hit a limit, 2,500, the girl said, hey, stop. You can't send anymore. You're going to have to leave this Walmart and go to the Western Union. I go, there's a money grabber Western Union right here. She said, you can't do it at this same Walmart. If you do it, they're going to flag you. I said, how often do they flag people? You the biggest numbers I've seen all day. I said, I'm the biggest numbers you've seen all day. I ain't nobody else sent more than $400, $500. Every time I go to Walmart, which there was a time I didn't go to Walmart for 4 freaking years, and I was so proud of that. But because of these drivers and because my manager, he's going to start doing it next weekend. And actually, we've forced every single driver to get an actual bank account, which is sad. This is sad. I'm saying this. Forced grown men to get bank accounts so that we can set up their direct deposit. You literally can see that people are sending the last. They're sending what they got. They're sending it somewhere. They're sending it to a family member, a cousin, somebody. They're helping someone in their family out by sending $400, $500, $200. Food, something. I saw a whole family standing in a line, wife, husband, son. And I was like, damn, you got a whole husband and somebody sending y'all money so y'all can go get groceries? That's rough. That's rough. But when you're on this show and I'm talking to you guys, I want you to understand that I'm talking to you from a person who's in business and a person who's in a middle class, upper middle class position, and a person who's saying, I can see where you can come up. And that's a lot of why I do this channel, because I know I can see where people can come up. And if you don't see yourself coming up, that's on you. This is full on you, because I saw a lot today. It went viral. This girl post. Don't tell people they need to learn a new skill or they need to be reading or educating themselves while they're at home. Let people rest and work on their mental health. Now, first of all, I was like, yeah, mental health is really important. You should be home. You should be resting. You should be eating, good food and cooking for your family and taking vitamins and supplements. And then I thought, these are the same boogaloos who gonna be asking for money 5 weeks from now. We're broke. I don't got no money. There's several people who I've followed, sadly, on Facebook and had to snooze today, where they're sitting here crying about they don't have any money and their jobs are in the restaurant industry. And people are like, were you a manager? They could give you pay. Like, they weren't managers. They were just, cooks, or they were just, waitresses. And there's nothing dishonorable about that. That's an honorable job. The work is to work. But these same boogaloos have 4 children and she's pregnant again. So when you see stuff like this, you want to agree. I want you to relax yourself. I want you to work on your mental health. But if you're a boogaloo and you have no skills and you're hoping for this $1,000 check that might not come no time soon, you need to be actually studying and taking courses. And you're the people we're talking to. You should be studying. That's who should be studying. So, Charm City buyers, don't even try it. I tried to call you earlier. Don't even try it. Thank you, Marcos. Marcos is Texas team. If you want to be a part of Texas team, it's like you can't be a part of Texas team. There's only a couple people in Texas team. Thank you for the $10 super chat. But I just want you to understand that when I went to go send drivers money today, the girl was like giving me the heads up like she was a hostage. Like, hey, girl, don't send that money here. You better go down the road. I was like, damn, you don't want to get flagged. I was like, y'all flagging people? Learn something new every day. I learn something new every day. But that tells me, I live here in Austin, and I can talk to my friends who live in San Antonio, and their Walmart, and their Western Unions are like a little Mexico, okay? And there be money going through there all the time. Now, I told you guys, how did the government make these estimates for ICE on how many illegal immigrants live in America? And sadly, how many Africans in the New York region live in America illegally? Western Union. So Western Union got in a deposition where they didn't release names, but they did have to confirm that they had 30 million unique numbers, whether MTCs or whatever, that went to South America, and 6 million or 5 million. I think it was 5 million that go over to Africa, different African countries. Well, all that showed the government was like, okay, cool. I got 6 million up here in the north, okay, that I'm gonna have to pick up. I got 30 million in the Southeast region and California region that are Western Union money every week back home. So, I mean, again, if Western Union ever loses the lawsuit and they have to really give up other people's information, that'll be something. That'll be real capital controls. But part of why I'm doing this today is Walmart, Western Union. They are the bank to the unbanked. Sell it. Personally, this week, as I was waiting for some of my stock accounts to liquidate, your homegirl was like, hey, I'll sell some things. Here's a truck. I'll take it, right? Because at the end of the day, you want maximum cash flow. You want maximum extra cash on hand to be ready, right? If something ain't working, you don't really need it, let it go. And that's what you're going to see. I went on, and y'all think this is funny, but I'm being serious. I went on Facebook Marketplace. I needed a dry van. Dry vans are $10,000 to $20,000 depending on the age. Facebook Marketplace. People were selling dry vans, and this is the trailer on the back of a tractor trailer to give you an example, for $4,000, for $3,000, and they weren't old and they weren't torn down. And when I called, my manager was like, "Oh, we ain't going over there. Something wrong. That's too cheap. It must be a scam. They're gonna rob us when we get there. We can't go." I said, "Well, we're not gonna bring cash. We're gonna do all this via banks, and we're gonna show up together." And he was so nervous because you got people selling $20,000, $30,000 truck equipment for $4,000. That's a problem. Okay? When you have people selling, like I had 3 calls this week of people selling properties in Maryland, but not Baltimore, like way out in the boony sticks, and then properties in Virginia for like pennies on the dollar. Now here's where I'm going to segue it towards real estate just a little bit when I talk about selling it. And I talk about picking up assets for cheap. If you have a property in Detroit that you bought for $20K and your tenants rent for $750 forever, you didn't lose anything. It's so cheap, you didn't lose anything. And I'm trying to get y'all to understand this concept, and it may be offensive to y'all, but if you buy a truck, there's people selling wholesale truck prices right now for $15,000, $20,000. You put a driver in it for $5,000, and the driver makes you about $5,000 a week. That truck paid for itself in about a month, right? But your key is at that point, you have to go find a driver. And what I'm trying to get people to understand is the people who will be prospering, who will be vibrant in this economy, is person who's on the side who can just manage the cash flow. If you can manage your cash flow, if you go, hey, like I can't pay you today, baby, but I got you tomorrow. If you can manage it, that your employees stay paid and they stay content, you'll have no problem. Now I'm gonna say this is not ugly, but this is the truth. A lot of my drivers, I have half young drivers, half old drivers. So they're more patient. Something go wrong, they say, man, I love growing with smaller companies because they actually get to know you. You're not just a number and they toss you away because you're old. And I thought, man, that's really sad to be a 50-something, late 50-something man, and the first thing out your mind is they're gonna let me go because I'm older. That sucks, but that's what they're dealing with. That's what they're facing. And so, yeah, one of my drivers is 63. One of my drivers is late 50s. Another one is mid 50s. And they're like, I still can drive. I still can do a lot. I still can go. And I almost feel sad when they tell me that, because I'm like, you ain't got to convince me you can drive. You're healthy. You can do it. I'm going to believe in you as long as you perform. But that's the kind of economy we're in, that we're thinking because people are older, they're replaceable, and they're not. There's not that many truck drivers, like not skilled with years under their belt, that are patient, that know how to fix things, that know the roads. There was a road blockage in Florida somewhere. When you go Texas to Louisiana, and then you go to Alabama to Florida, they're blocking some of the roads. Well, the drivers are communicating with each other. They know all the back roads to go. They know all the little hick towns to go through, and they just be rerouting themselves, doing whatever. I'll be on the GPS watching them like, where they going? Where they going today? But they know things that others don't know because they've been doing this for so long. And there's something about experience and there's something about staying power that I'm trying to get people to understand. Yes, we are in a recession. We've been in a slow drip to the recession for 2 years now, but yes, we're in it. But if you are in a position of a business that can hold and continue and prosper, there ain't nothing like it. That's why when you see these people in Brooklyn and New York and these people they've had these properties 10, 15 years. The tenant paid for that property 15 years ago. And they're like, yeah, I'm gonna give my tenants a break this month. Well, you done made millions off them old poor people for 15 years. And so I'm not trying to be disrespectful when I see stuff on Bigger Pockets, but the reason you have people freaking out on Bigger Pockets right now is because of the BRRRR strategy. They bird themselves into leverage up to their necks. A lot of these folks who bought one at a time, one every couple of years, just paid it down reasonably, they're fine. A lot of people talking crap about the buyer movement, those folks are fine. They've got tech skills, most of them. And when they bought the houses, a lot of them didn't BRRRR. They bought rentals that were cheap, or they bought rentals that made sense, number sense. So I just want to caution you that sometimes when you watch my channel, I may be speaking from a position where, oh man, Erica, everybody ain't living like that. I'm not talking about how everybody else is living. I'm talking about from a top-down, trickle-down perspective of people who are going to thrive and make it. And it's all about choice at this point. You have to right now decide, hey, next 10 years, we making it. Point blank, period. 10, 15 grand doesn't sound like a lot. To some people it is, but it doesn't sound like a lot. But I've seen people right now who I'm on the phone with, they just started trucking companies and they got FEMA contracts because they're up under somebody else's authority. I'm talking to people who are veterans, who are getting ready to set themselves up for all these veteran disabled loans. I got my phone, and we can show you here in the office if I can move this thing around. We got 40 calls a day from every funding company you can think of, trying to go, hey, if you haven't already applied, comply with us. We'll get you in through that SBA line and da-da-da-da-da. The pitch is the same. Everybody wants to eat off that very magnificent tree money that they're shaking in DC. So somebody to act like, I don't need that money, baby, please. I'm a minority woman. If you're going to give me $1 million loan that could be forgivable, I'm here for it. Miss me with that. I'm here for it. Let me read some of y'all comments. And yes, I have to put the glasses on because I cannot see. What's up, Midland? Transfer between Wally stores. That's right. From Dave Ramsey, Erica. Kissimmee. Don't know what that is. Walmart to Walmart is, when Walmart to Walmart. Y'all let them know inside. It's cash. So many cash transactions. That's right. People trying to make that mortgage and rent payment. Look, man. Hold on. That's a sneeze, not Corona. That's right. That's what they're doing. Child support will clean out that bank account. Damn. I thought about that too. What's up, friend? International wires are looked at even closer. Yeah, Ben the bartender, she literally said that she'll probably get noticed because my transaction was so big. She's like, they'll probably come pull my cash register. And when I was there, her old girl was over there and they were like putting the cash on the counter, marking it with the markers. And the older Black lady stood beside her like, okay, don't be letting people see all this cash, honey. And she just like, I'm trying to count it. And that just told me right there, that's the biggest cash they saw all day. Me being there was the biggest cash they saw all day. And she was like, what are you doing? What are you paying? Are you paying a bill? I'm like, no, I'm just paying another person. Oh, okay. I'm like, what's all these questions? But that's how I know most people ain't sending much money. I used to work for an auto mechanic. We had the same issue, grown men with no bank accounts. I'm telling you, it's a real thing. What's up? Oh, Lord, it jumped down. Hold on, everybody. Those cashback manufacturer spin slippers have been shut down by Walmart months ago. Too many get money orders. I thought it was only a matter of time. Yo, and Cam, let me tell you about that today. The man in front of me, white dude, suit on, ready, young. I was like, damn, what are you doing here? He go up, he giving her cash. And he's like, yeah, I need to use my Bluebird. I want to be like, Bo, don't tell her that you're using the Bluebird. That's the, you're trying to get shut down here at Walmart. What you doing? And sure enough, he was manufacturer spend. That's what he was doing. He apparently got that cash from somewhere off that credit card and was taking it to Walmart. But I really want to pull him aside and be like, hey, next time, yeah, these ladies is cool and they know what you're doing, but you don't say you're using the Bluebird. That's whoop, whoop, whoop. That's manufacturer spend. Whoop. And earlier, listen, I tell on myself, I don't even care. This is a hypothetical. It's not me, but somebody. You go to Walmart after you get some cash off your card, and you go and get those gift cards, and you take those gift cards to the Walmart, the one with the pin, and you say, hey, I want a money order for $400, and people swipe the gift card, move the gift card money to the money order, take the money order, put it in your bank. Now, I ain't told you to do that. I'm just giving you an example of what manufacturer spend looks like and what has gotten a lot of people in trouble. And I'm in a lot of credit groups, and they have shut down a lot of Chase and American Express folks this past week. Because I have a feeling people went on a manufacturer spend rampage this past couple weeks. And someone said in Glenn and Cameron's video, oh, I got 40K on a credit card, 0% interest. What should I do? Should I take it off? I was like, baby, take that money off yesterday. But I ain't told you to do that. I'm doing good, Annette. Yes, this went viral. I saw the quote. Whoa. Thank you. How is learning not good for your mental health? See what I'm saying? Like it's the poor me crowd going, oh, poor me, pity me, I lost my job. And I already told y'all what's going to happen, and I meant it. Go back and watch my 5 baby mamas video. This is what's happening in the upper middle class, men with businesses. Imagine what's happening to old Ricky Bobby, okay? 10 million people filed for unemployment. I'm going to say this, it's not nice, so what? Not disrespectful, I'm just saying so what? You have a lot of these people in the economy, they're non-essential. Sorry, you got 150, you got 330 Americans, so you got 150 million working, 10 million lost their jobs. That sucks. That's horrible for their families. I feel bad for them. But I'm going to tell you right now, if we look at the later math and it shows 70% of this was women, I'm going to tell you, I told you so. I'm on Facebook all day when I'm not working, when I'm not busy. I'm just scanning, and I see nothing but women going, oh, this isn't that bad. I love staying home with my children. This is wonderful. Like, we did this today, we did that today, and they're sitting and sharing TikToks and crap. And then I have the other set of women who are like, oh, I can't wait to get back to work. I'm like, but you're not. That's just it, boo. This is the reset. You're not. And I think you should be happy that you get to be a nuclear family and stay home with your kids. I think you should be excited about it. I think, again, I keep telling y'all, read the book Frugal Woods. And over the past decade, stay-at-home moms went up 13%. That was the people who did it by choice. Now you're going to have people who are doing it by force and are going to have to learn what a budget is. Now, I know someone said in the comments, how dare I mention Dave Ramsey in the same sentence as Grant Cardone? I'm going to do it again, and you can't stop me. Grant Cardone will be a billionaire in this. If he can keep his, I'm being careful. If he can keep his image and his brother's image up just enough, his twin brother, who has got millions of dollars up, and they slide their way up into a billion, it will happen. It just will happen. They're too close. They're like so close to a billion. It's like a hiccup. Dave Ramsey is teaching people who, this 10 million people, when they go home and their spouse realizes, my wife ain't going back to work, and now she's real nice to me all of a sudden, and now she's talking about clipping coupons, and now she's talking about cooking with the crock pot, and now she's talking about how we got to budget and save, and now she really, like, her whole attitude is different. That's who Dave Ramsey is about to be helping. These people are going to be on the phone with banks, on the phone with companies asking for, payment plans and structured stuff. And trust me, y'all, these people will be fine. I know everybody's like, Erica, how dare you be insensitive to people who lost their jobs? I'm not insensitive. But you had to know some of this was coming. Not only did you know some of this was coming, if you had a non-essential job and you're over 35, you knew Again, I did the video a couple of days ago before this talking about when it's time to let something go, when it's time to move on to the next level of whatever you're trying to do. That was your time. This is your time. If you're on LinkedIn, lots of engineers at top companies like Amazon and Facebook doing free resume evaluations and introductions right now. Boom. Exactly. Been to Barcelona, exactly where that money going. I will do my best to get it together for the travel and trade class. The last of my students' loans, which are federal, are on hold until September. I'm determined to make some trades with that time repaid. Congratulations. Western Union knows everything. Even ask if the person you are sending to is family. Exactly, BG. They asked me that, and I was like, you already know these names don't match. These are not. Give me one. Ron for real estate, man, let me tell you. It's been a week. But I tell you right now, I'm on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm like haggle negotiating. I used to make fun of people who negotiate and haggle, but that had to be me all week. I was like, look, this is what I can do for you. You selling it for 6, but I can give you 4. What can we do here? Because at the end of the day, there's contracts. Like, this isn't a secret. I'll tell y'all this part. There's contracts already. The government already. But you got to bring up, you got to have 2 dry vans. You got to bring one empty. They load it up with supplies. Then you pick it up and you leave another one. And you just do that over and over. There's contracts all over the place. So that's why when people are like, trucking, it's going to be bad, Eric. And I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about, because they're giving us loans every day and telling us, hey, truckers, hold on. We're going to open up the floodgates for the federal government, give you some money. Now, here's another kicker. And I'm not crapping on anybody who thinks they know what they're talking about, but I just want to say this. Pay attention to what I'm doing. Go look on my Instagram. Go look at where I'm at every day. The federal government is legislating right now. Already put through. You can Google these articles on your own free time for truck parking. Okay? So what do you think your girl's been doing as she's getting certified as a minority woman business owner and trucking? Okay? I'm just leaving you breadcrumbs. And one's eventually going to I'll put it all together in some videos. But what people don't understand is this is such a time that there's an upper 10% that's just going to go, they're going to be rich now. Like, there's families I know right now, if they hold on and do 2 or 3 things, they're going to be rich. Now, is it right that there's going to be the working stiff, the 9-to-5 guy who makes 60, 70K? You know, he's got his own place, he's eating well, eating chili at his house. Is he going to be a prize? For sure. For a young lady with no skills? For a young lady that's making under 30K a year? For sure. There's a comedian that was making fun of Lizzo. The shit was hilarious. I'm not even going to front. He was making fun of Lizzo. And you know why? She's a big girl. It's all good. And he was like, I'm not that rich, but to a whole bunch of poor women, I'm a god. And I started laughing because what he said was true. He may be a broke comedian, not making nothing but 80K a year, but guess what? To a bunch of ladies who make less than 20K a year, he the man. He the man. Now, this is where my cousin used to tell me when I was younger, get in where you fit in. I don't know if y'all ever heard that, but you put it 2 and 2 together. Get in where you fit in. If you don't fit in over there, you need to get in where you fit in, okay? Take that however you want to take that about that comment. Oh, yeah. I mean, Sherry, when people say stuff is going to be on sale, honey, right now there was a man, we were talking to him, and we couldn't get his number. We're like, hey, y'all, can y'all give me his number? Where can I leave it? I went over there the other day. His stuff was sold. I said, sir, I was trying to call you. He was like, nobody told me nothing. I said, I ain't mad at the business owner who didn't give my number to him, but I know why he did it. That's all. I mean, I know what he was doing. He was cock blocking that sale, and that's okay, but I'll remember that. I'm lucky my healthcare class is online. Congrats. I need a house in Texas with 5 miles of standoff distance. Hey, they're everywhere. You can get one of those. I mean, right now you can drive down I-95 and see whole big old houses in the middle of nowhere. Congrats, T-Stocks. There is a lot of age bias in the workplace. Yep. And they're not, listen, they're not flexible. Let me keep it a buck. A lot of older drivers aren't flexible. They want to do things a certain way. They want to drive a certain way. I have a lot of drivers at this point who just want to go home on the weekends and hang out with grandkids. Nothing wrong with that. As long as you drive real hard for the week, I don't care. Is Skynet cutting up? Let me know. What happened? They burned themselves to death. So loyal, determined, my trucking rates are high. I'm in Texas. And I even told my dispatch and my office, my logistics manager, if we don't even leave Texas the next 2 weeks, I don't care. If I can make $2.37 or $2.70 a mile inside Texas, why am I going anywhere else? I see why guys never leave Texas. I see why guys have routes just inside Texas and go peace out everywhere else. I see now. Because, be careful here. There's dry van rates that are like pennies on the dollar. And if I was a person, the only reason I would even take it is if I was just trying to get a long route. Like, if they only gonna give you $1.80, and then you in a flatbed and you get $2.71 a mile, I'm gonna do flatbed all day. But flatbed is what? Work. A lot of older guys don't want to do that. Bigger Pockets does have a difference. Listen, thank you, Andre Hatchett. Get the Cash App in there. Thank you. I appreciate it. Bigger Pockets have always had a resistance to low-income housing, to cheap housing, to certain neighborhoods. And this was part of the reason I was so pro Blacker Pockets, because, you know, who should be making money off the inner cities and urban areas? People who grew up there. That's who should be making it. What's up, Mr. Shelley? It is jumping all around. Hold on. Here we go. Thank you, Ryan Williams. Said, I love you, Erica. You're the best. Thank you. What's up? Should I apply for PPP and the EID at the same time, or just choose one? Apply for everything, Michelle, son. Everything. Work with, listen, this is a bank bailout, whether y'all know it or not. Hold on, let me get a paper towel wipe off the board. This is a bank bailout. Why is this a bank bailout? Because you have to work through JP Morgan Chase or Wells Fargo or what is the Bank of America, and they're going to get 1%. Think about this. If somebody gets $1 million loan, let me look on my phone. In the comments, if somebody gets a $1 million loan, $1 million, and somebody gets 1% of that loan, how much do they make? Put it in the comments. If somebody gets a $1 million loan and someone gets to take 1% out of that loan, what does that come out to? Put it in the comments. New Jersey, what's up, Faith? So many of these businesses don't even have payroll set up. They paying under the table, now they hurting. Cam, listen, when I told every one of these guys, all y'all better have banks next week. Bank accounts, you better have it when they first hired on, I make them fill out all the paperwork. I don't even care. Let me tell you something. I'm in trucking where this week alone, Skynet's acting up. Did y'all see that? Did I get kicked off? It said my internet was unstable. Oh, good, don't do it. Okay, y'all let me know if the internet's right. Put a 1 in the comments if the internet's still working. I'm in trucking. And when people sit here and act like, well, I wouldn't take money because I don't need that money. And a lot of YouTubers have been saying that. Not just Lyndon, not just the 2 other guys. They're like, who needs that money? Listen to me. Different businesses need different cash flow. Okay, so I'm in trucking, and I can tell you right now, this week alone, I had something fall off. I had a bird fly into a window and shatter it. I had a guy truck freeze up. I had somebody had to change four tires. Then I had another guy who needed 4 more tires. Then I had another guy who had a gas problem. Let me tell you, stuff can happen. Can you make thousands, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a week in trucking? Yes, if you got all your trucks running and making crazy money. Can you get up some expenses? Yes. Now, here's where I love having the staff I have. My staff goes, book TA and Lowe's and Flying J and Pilot. Let me call around to the little guy. Now, prime example, we had 4 tires on the first truck, 4 tires on the other truck. 4 tires at a TA Love's, they're going to charge you like $400. you're talking about $1,600. It's crazy. It eats up the whole profit of the load. And I don't want to bore y'all to death here, but I want y'all to stay with me. He called around to all the little man on that TA love. This guy was like, hey, we'll do it for $800. Please bring the truck here. We'll do it for $800. In that one phone call, we saved our budget in half. Now, what do you think's been happening to those little shops all around budget, TA and Loves? People call all day trying to get a deal. And if those smart shops are smart enough, they do what? Make a deal. Why do you think I have Texas Ground Zero Project? Because I will be one of those shops down the street making a deal. Okay, but y'all see more of that soon. I know. What does Bluebird? What does Bluebird mean? When it comes to manufacturing spend, if you guys Google manufacturing spend, American Express tried to get in on that money, even though American Express hates that people do manufacturer spend. Not only did they hate that people do manufacturer spend, they want to get on the other side of it and make money and made a debit card called Bluebird. So you would go, and it's supposed to be for your bill pay. You know, they're getting in all the bill pay. Again, Bluebird is an example of we don't have people with bank accounts. Again, people don't have bank accounts. So American Express was able to set up this debit card where you can go to Walgreens, you can go to Walmart, you can put $100, $500, $600, $1,000 to the cash register. The cashier takes it, you put the little Bluebird card in, and it puts the money on the card. Now, same token, greedy Amex, American Express was like, oh, we hate manufacturer spend, but we're going to put this card out right now because we know you sons of bees are manufacturer spend. So they're making money both sides, okay? And that just shows you, again, the level of unbanked. Now, what if this guy didn't have a bank? He's in a suit, he's dressed nice, but that doesn't mean he has a bank. He may be just taking his credit cards and pulling the money off there and put it on the Bluebird. It happens. That's right. Jessica Hicks is telling y'all the truth in here. There you go, Rita. There you go. So Joshua Hill, they will still listen. I hate to be like this, but immigrants are not hurting. Let me tell you, if you go in any of these little neighborhoods, Chinatown, any of these places, a lot of people are in multiple people in one house. They're parsing up the rent very low, mortgage very low. They have a business, and they're working together in a group, and they're doing just fine. I can tell you right now, a lot of the prime example, where I'm building Texas Ground Zero, I need to get quote estimates for the paving of the ground. And there was a guy, you could tell he's been in construction and paving years. There was a young man with him that I was like, oh, is that your son? He's like, oh, no. He's like, that boss, he's my girlfriend's dad. I was like, oh. He's like, yeah, you know, I lost my job at the restaurant as a waiter, and I'm going to work with him for a couple of weeks until the economy goes right back. And I laughed a little bit on the inside because I realized his son, the economy ain't going back what you think it's going to go back to. You're not going to be no waiter no more. You're in concrete and paving now. That's what you do now. Your daughter, your girlfriend, that's his daughter. He's going to make sure you have a real job now. And not that waiting, it's not a real job, but in this economy, real job. And as I'm looking, I said, that's the power of owning a business. That you're like, everybody, we're putting everybody in our family on. We're putting our son's our daughter's boyfriend on. We're putting our cousins on. Even now, I've got family members calling me like, hey, when can we put some trucks on? I'm like, never. Y'all worse than get out of here. But that's the power in owning a business. And I know owning a business is not for everybody. That's not what I'm promoting here. But if you don't have that leverage or that power or that proximity, that's where you're hurt. Jaquan said, I ain't sending ish. Only the strong survive. That's not true. If your mom, your sister, your cousin say, oh my God, Jaquan, we lost our place. We driving right now all night to get to your place so we have somewhere to stay. Guess what you're going to do? Nah, don't y'all do that. Here's some money. Go away. Trust me. Savage. What do credit card companies have already figured out plastic as well, because there's some credit cards Like if you try to use Chase cards sometimes on plastic, it'll shut you down and they'll cancel your Chase card. This is what they're talking about in a lot of Facebook groups. Niagara Falls employment is all tourism. Yep. Same thing. Like right now when people talk about Italy, oh, Italy, oh, Italy. I'm like, listen to me. Italy itself as a country is dead if there is no summer. Like, I don't think y'all understand. Like, Italy has been making so much money the past 5 years in the summer that China has had businessmen, South Korean businessmen have come up and bought things in Italy because it was making so much money in the summer. So much so that it's, you know, it's got people, it's got stuff going on. You go up in the north and the nowhere towns, it's dead. Like, the best they can do is send stuff to Rome, send stuff down south, seasonal workers. A lot of those towns don't even have schools. They're starting to not have schools because they didn't have any little children. And when this first broke out, I'm not gonna say the name, but you know, the virus. And those towns were hit the hardest because their population was 75 years old and older. They don't really have any young people. And they don't even have caretakers. It's just like Japan. Japan is very hyper vigilant right now because a bulk of its society is over 75 years old. So what's the difference with America and China and Japan? We have a lot of Americans that we would call healthy that are completely unhealthy. We have a lot of people we call young, active dads. Like every single picture someone showed me of someone who's got it and passed away, I was like, they had hypertension, they had blood pressure problems, they had digestive problems, they had heart problems, they had every problem you can think of. Why are we calling them a healthy person? They were a cancer survivor, they had immune disorders. Like every single person you keep showing me in America that has this problem, that catches it, is sick, was already inside sick. Do you understand what I'm saying? Right? A lot of people are like, oh, these 600-pound lifers, these people. No. We can't base it off of appearance. There are several bodybuilders that die every year because they're sitting there doing all this crap with their stomach, their insides. My personal trainer scared me because I was going to take, you know, some fat burners, right? He's like, don't do it. And I was like, man, stop being dramatic. And he literally told me about a Marine who abused fat burners, and he was 28 years old, kidneys liquidated. Like internal organ failure from just abusing fat burners. Grown guy, Marine, running every day. So when people sit here and try to tell me, oh, Erica, look at these healthy Americans. I don't go by what you look like because I know a lot of people don't drink water, don't take vitamins. I've been in too many groups where people are like, how do you grow your hair? I don't know how to grow my hair. I go, well, how much water are you drinking? How many vitamins are you taking? Are you doing different routines with your hair? And of course, all the women are like, no, I ain't doing all that. Okay, I'm putting protective styles in my hair. Okay, well then you're doing half the battle. You ain't drinking water. You ain't taking no vitamins. What's the protective style gonna do? So, I mean, again, I'm careful on that because someone I know has lost someone recently, like literally today, and I'm trying to be respectful. But again, I want y'all to understand that this will be a seasonal thing. And I know people are like, no, it's not. We're forever going to be changed. The way this country is going to go, this money they're about to dump out here, we're going to have a pop for the summer. I don't care what nobody says. The charts are there. The movie theaters are there. Everything that could maintain a pop this summer is going to pop. So I'll just put it this way. Grant Cardone has a twin brother. Grant Cardone name his middle name is Grant. It's not even his first name. Anyway, Grant Cardone has a twin brother. His twin brother has a company that it's called like the chargebacks. It basically fights people doing a bunch of chargebacks on your account. Why is that important? If you have a ton of chargebacks on your account, processors can shut your stuff down. Bank accounts can close your bank accounts. Old gurus be old news. Women will leave their full-time jobs, finally start their side hustles. There's a lot of women teaching others how to do it. Oh, for sure. Like, I'm going to say this, and I know people are going to be like, Erica, stop it. There are many people I know right now who make 10 grand a month off their personal brand. And it's been down. Like, it's been like, if you're in these groups, like, sales have been a little weird this past December. Like, if you notice all the Facebook ads and YouTube ads going out real hard, Sales have been weird, but still consistent. And Glendon is right. When you say 10K, what's 10K? I'm in groups every group I'm in, you got people doing very bare bones minimum shit, making 10K a month. And really the difference in the 10K a month people and the 20, 30, 40K people is marketing and advertising. Like I've been in people's classes, I've been in people's groups like, why are you making so much money? And I look up on Facebook, they got ads running all day long. They got YouTube ads running all day long. There you go. Yep. Gary Cardone, thank you. Webinars, trading, Play-Doh. That's about describes my day. And that's worth living the dream, girl. You living the dream. Aaron Clary said something like that. You have a good job in the shotgun. You're a winner right now. You really are. Let me see what y'all got here. Thank you, Sinister Minister. The internet is a bore without Erica and her truths. I'm just saying. Corey Holcomb, that might have been who he was. He was talking about Lizzo, talking about if you're a big girl, people always gonna treat you like that. It was funny because what he was saying was true. FEMA tender of service program. I'm not money making operation. Send me a text via Instagram. Cash at me, baby. War zones, really? Yeah, that's what they be calling it. War zones. What's up, Claire? 10K. That's right. Texas's economy is different on rates within Texas to Texas. I'm telling you, from Houston to Midland, when this thing first started rolling out, by the time you picked up something in Houston and sent it to Midland, by the time you did the route, they were paying $3,000, $2,000, $1,000. You can drive from Houston to Midland in like 6 hours, 7 hours. I think 7 hours. I may be wrong. No, that may be too little. 6 hours. So imagine your driver driving for 6 hours for $1,000. Only problem is what you got to Midland ain't nothing to take away because they just shutting all the stuff down. Same big families that own everything back then. Yeah, you go in every little small town. There's 1 or 2 families or 10 families that own everything. They bought up stuff when it was cheap. 10K, 10K. That's right. 10% of $1 million is 100,000. So think about it. If you're going to have to use Wells Fargo, Chase Bank, Bank of America, and they're getting millions, $20 million come through, and they're taking 10% off the top. $200 million come through, and they taking 10% off the top just for processing it. It's disgusting. It's absolutely, it's disgusting because it's a bank bailout, whether we want to call it that or not. PP Barron said, husband and I raised our 5 children, 2 sets of twins. Now everyone is heading off to college, and I became a certified wastewater operator. Congratulations. There's a lot of stories showing women who are in their 40s and 50s having a much happier job performance and job participation. And I think it's because those women usually were at home, 21 to 30 something. They had the babies early. They got rid of them. I just had a conversation the other day with Truck and Justin. We were laughing about, having kids late in life. And sometimes we look at people who got 13-year-olds and like, dang, 4 years, they're going to be out there just free as a bird. And we just started. Like start with little people, right? So, and that's a lot of the entrepreneurs I talk to. They're like in their 30s. They traveled. Now they're trying to do the little kid thing. And it's like, oh, crap. Damn, now we'll be just straddled with a kid. Sabrina Horton, I don't know. I've seen some real estate transactions go through, but again, you have to think about it. Depending on the city and state, the title, like right now, we're waiting to process a house in Detroit to close, and title companies ain't there. Nobody's there. I mean, Detroit's being hit ravaged, honestly, hard with this, and they have people dropping. Like, it ain't even a joke. I think we need to go to math class. That's so funny. The folks that don't want the loan money don't know what to do with it. That part. that part, like when people sit here and tell me I ain't taking this money or that money, I'd be like, boy, bye. Use the laugh. If you give me 100K right now, the things I would do with it, honey. Land. Because right now you got people, I was talking to one of the paving companies that was doing the quote, and they were like, if you just give us this contract, we'll work with you, we'll do payments, we'll do pieces, we'll do a part here, a part there. Like, it's when you get the money, we do it, we do this. Like, they're like haggling, like, please give us this contract. Because they're trying to set their projections for the year. And you know, when you have something you see and you know it can be a big project and you do well the first part, it's money for years. Reefer a tanker? No, dry van. I don't bother with reefer because I've just seen too many pictures in the trucking groups I'm in where somebody, like, one piece of fruit, like 20 pieces of apples fell out and they're like, we ain't taking it. So now you got to go sell this fruit at a discount, I guess, to a bodega. Who knows who you're selling it to? And you lost money on the load. That's ridiculous to me. I'm not dealing with that. If you're over 18, you better have a bank account. Honey, let me tell you, I'm not joking. Everybody I'm talking to in the industry, they were like, oh, do you want to use, we had this company calling us. And it was for marketing. And I was like, what is this? And it was for these cards. Sorry. It was for these cards basically to pay your employees. So prepaid debit cards. So thank you, Doug. Simon's Mall is the best way to do manufacturer spend. If you have a business, they give you cards in $1,000 increments, or say gift cards. Let me put it to you this way. There was a, you guys can look this up. It was called Biz Summit here in Austin. It was a credit card. It was like FBZ or something. And it basically, Simon Mall came in and said, hey, we sponsored this event. We're one of the sponsors. We're going to take this van. It was like a big bus, like a charter bus. We're going to go to Simon Mall and y'all can get all the cards you want in increments of, like, I think it was like 500. Trust me, everybody's been in on the game until it was like, oh no, we don't support manufacturers spend. Everybody was in on it. Everybody was making money on it. That's right. Most European countries don't have anything except tourism. Italy is the prime example of that. Prime example. France has said multiple times that they would be a third world country if it wasn't for the money that they get from the 14 African countries repaying back where they, just dismantled their colonies. Italy has been hanging on by a shoestring. Yeah, I mean, if you go to Naples, everybody and their mom keeps telling me about, okay, Erica, when you get to Naples, go straight to Sorrento. Don't stay there. And I'm like, what's going on? They're like, it's dirty, it's filthy, it's gross. And I started watching YouTube videos. I was like, oh, Lord. Then I started reading articles talking about you'll get pickpocketed bad. So I'm like, okay, when I get off the plane in Naples, go straight through this part, walk over here, get in the car, go straight to Sorrento. Don't talk to nobody. Detroit bus driver could barely breathe, talking about how a passenger was coughing. Yeah, Ben the bartender, that guy died. He died. So, but yeah, Greg Cardone twin is married. They both had kids late. D Nice, right now I don't have my other headset on, so you're gonna just have to deal with the voice, the echo, until I get the other mic set up, stand. And again, Amazon, thanks for not considering my mic a central thing. I will say right now, this guy, oh, I'm being careful. This guy basically pitched me a book. And because he's like, you have the personality to get away with saying it. He's from a big MLM. He made a lot of money, and he's like, I don't even know if I can say it. Basically, break free of the MLM prison is what he wanted the book to be called. He wanted me to pitch it and be the person who wrote it. And I was like, dude, I can't take that heat. I cannot take that heat. There's too many MLMs that would just come after me if I did a whole like 24-month promotion of that book as the writer. Nah, I would get eaten alive. So trust me, there's a lot of people from MLMs who have contacted me to be like, hey, what do you think about this? And I'm like, hey, can't talk about it. Lewis Luck, my trucking is going great. That's the crazy part. Like there's plenty of loads, not a ton of drivers, because what's going to happen is just like when the toilet tissue was paying crazy rates. Everybody went to that. So it made other companies had to raise their rates. So. I don't have underwriting course or anything like that. Look, Navy Federal is already, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, Monday morning, they're processing. Monday morning, if you got your PPP in, it's processing. Frost Bank reached out to me, Navy Federal reached out to me. I'm telling y'all, when our office phone rang 40 times today, it was all the same people doing the same, hey, PP is processing Monday morning. Can we get in? Can we work with your company? Can we work with you? Can we do your paperwork? I'm like, chill. It was crazy. Oh, this money's hecka serious. 8 hours. Thank you so much. I stay in Houston and drive here. There you go, Jaquan. Bank of America started accepting. Oh yeah, Bank of America is old slimy self was going to start accepting immediately. Douglas Jones, you had the best answer to him. Yes. Ryan Williams, again, here's the thing. If you have systems and processes in place, like your business won't kill. Like that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. People who were house flippers in the last recession, they just flipped houses slower. In this recession, what's going to happen if you're a wholesaler? There are going to be people who are like, I can't keep the house, period, financially, cash flow, otherwise, like any one thing goes wrong. Like right now, I've had 7 calls from people trying to sell their trucks to me because something went wrong or it needs a repair and they can't do it. And I'm like, baby, what you calling me for? Because I'm not going to give you cash. I'll give you payments. We can make a payment arrangement for 6 months to a year, but I'm not paying you 28, 30, 40 grand. Why would I do that? Why would I mess up my own cash flow like that when I can pay you in payments? So either you need the money or you don't. What you want to do? And most people, I'll tell you like this, most people are very glad to get $1,000 a week check. They're very glad. They'll take it and be like, okay, because they know anything else is going to require them to put some money and fix that truck or do something else. So again, when you own assets or you're in a place to pay somebody for their assets, let me tell you what. There you go. Tell them the truth. People that have lived in Detroit forever still rent when houses were literally $1,000. I'm telling you, all the people we run into, they've been in Detroit their whole life. They will never leave. They don't care how bad it gets. They don't care if it's holes in the ground, it's on fire. They stay in there. That's just how people are. But they ain't gonna buy it. They're gonna stay there though. Thank you for the $2 super chat, Kelly Thomas. Man, y'all got a lot in here. Let me see. But by Chaz, man, you can go right now and people are selling trucks for 15 grand. Okay, people that were selling trucks a couple weeks ago for 25 grand and 35 grand are selling them same trucks for 15 grand. I'm telling you, it's just the thing of it is, if you do it depends on how you work the math. If there's nothing wrong with the truck and you get it for 20 grand, which 9 times out of 10 something's wrong with it for 20 grand, something wrong with it. Not always, but something. That's why I have a mechanic on staff. That truck can make you about 2 to 5 grand a week after all bills and expenses and drivers paid. You're gonna make your money back in 4, 5 weeks. And then it's just gonna cash flow for the rest of the year as long as they don't tear it up. So that's why when people sit here and fuss with me about trucking, I just laugh. I go, if you're not in the industry, I don't even listen. You know, like there's a million ways to be in this industry. And a lot of people are already past the truck phase where they don't even own trucks anymore. Like they just get government contracts, they just do other stuff. But there's a lot of money in different levels. So paparazzi jury is big deal right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not taking on anybody for the investment club. I'm just not. Only people out if it's a capital partner or if somebody who wants to do a JV deal directly with the truck. That's it. Even then, I'm trying to here's the thing. New people equal new problems. You dig what I'm saying? Like if you don't know about the industry, then I gotta train you. I gotta sit there and take time, work with you. Like I'm trying to get to a position where I'm not even in here. Like I told them all week, y'all don't have to run everything. I'm busy this week. I got other stuff to work on. I got other projects to work on. Handle your business. And guess what? They did just fine. They stepped up. The two of the guys, they did everything need to be done. Everybody got where they need to go. Deliveries were made. Money was paid. Invoices went through. I cannot complain. But when I add more people, you add new problems. It's really not worth it to me at this point. And that's not trying to be disrespectful. MGTOW, no. Again, what Walmart showed me today, when people are like, oh, people are broke. They're so broke. They ain't got no money. This is lies. There are people still holding on to some money in a mattress. They got guns they will sell. They've got cameras. They've got equipment. They will go all around their house liquidating everything they got in their house if they got to have cash flow. Don't mistake this for broke. People that are broke, and the same thing with real estate. People are like, oh my God, tenants are never going to pay. This is what's going to happen. I've already talked to several people who have low-income housing. All tenants paid because they were nervous. They probably are like, is this for real? Are we not going to really pay? Already have paid. 3 of our tenants paid. Okay? Well, no, two of the 2 paid. I'm going to check on the other 3. But it's the rent's so low. When you got $500, $700, $1,000 rent, you're nervous, you're going to pay. Now, what's going to happen to some of these landlords with these houses? All of a sudden, you're going to see more cars in the yard. This is the same thing that happened last time. That's why I don't listen to people who aren't in real estate, aren't in something, if they're not actually participating in it. I listen to them with a grain of salt, but I'm actually in it. Like my family, all their rentals are like old $35,000 houses from 1980s with good new kitchen stuff, supplies, the yard's maintained, everything's kept up. Their tenants ain't going nowhere. They gonna keep paying that $650. If they hit a hiccup, they're gonna move a cousin or 2 in, and then they're gonna still pay their rent. That's just how it goes in some of these towns. People just move more people in. Go on Bigger Pockets, go on Reddit, go on Quoba. This is what happens all the time. You're gonna see landlords saying, what do I do when extra tenants keep moving in? Quote me on this. Go Google this tonight. You will see it all over Bigger Pockets. All these people trying to figure out what to do about parking because they got all these extra tenants in that are not accounted for. Trust. This is all people will do. They will, again, I don't want to fuss with people, but yeah. Now, there will be a lot of repos soon. That part I agree with. Because they don't have anywhere to park the car that will be locked. So if you guys can Google this right now, you can look it on your own time. Between Alabama to Florida, they got checkpoints. Between Texas to Louisiana, they got stop checkpoints. Like if you, like Terry, a couple of people, their parents are with them, they can't go home. I think they could say, hey, I live in Louisiana, I'm on my way home. 2 of my drivers went home to check on their family, and they're just gonna, fortify their homes and come back and go get driving. I'm not planning on buying any rentals until I know it's a deal in my favor. Does that make sense? Like literally the deal has to be completely 100% in my favor. And what do I mean by that? Like when people call me trying to sell their truck, they're trying to act like they're in a position of like, I got something valuable. It's not really valuable if you don't have a driver. You have a giant paperweight. So you can either take payments is what I want to offer you, or you can just see if somebody else wants to buy it from you. And of course, they can't find nobody else. Okay. Again, what's that thing about proximity I keep telling y'all about? Go where there's some money. Go where somebody has some money or has some ability to make money or produce money, right? 1 week I was late with the truck driver's payment because QuickBooks didn't sync. Guess what? None of the drivers quit. They were just like, okay, Miss Williams, it didn't hit my account. I said, oh my God, I called my accounting company. I said, I'm going to personally go wire it. None of them got upset. Why? Except for one dude. He did get upset. He was broke. But the rest were like, I got a job. I'm grateful just to have a job. I'm not going to fuss with you because you're the one cutting me the check. You think what I'm saying? Dang, Douglas Jones. Douglas Jones said, my dad knew an Italian-American New York City cop. He went to Naples, Italy to discover his roots. He got robbed at gunpoint. Naples is gutter. Like, literally go look up, what's her name? Aisha Selden. She talked about how bad it was over there in Italy. V. Marie, I'll ask, but some people get really offended when you move their information around. Like one of the truck drivers I got is from one of the other people in Hood Estates group who were like, hey, I got an excess driver. I was like, oh, thank you. I took him on. He's a good driver. But sometimes when you share people's information, like, hey, you trying to sell this and you tell somebody else, they get a little mad, but I'll ask. Ryan Williams, when did I realize it was time to switch from passive truck income to active? When I got ripped off. AM1's is putting together the film right now on how we got massively number-wise ripped off by our third-party company. And at that point, when I'll be careful, I'm not gonna name no names. I went and asked several people who are big in the industry, could they take me up under their wing? Could they put me up with their authority? And everybody pretty much was like, no, you got too many trucks, go start your own. Trust, that's what happened. That's the real story. They won't tell you that story. There you go. Lucha Luck, one of her tenants already paid. Giant Lifestyle, I got one box truck and I'm making $2K a week profit. Need to buy more trucks. And here's what will happen. I'm not telling you to get crazy with the numbers, but let me rewind it back for you. 90% of every single, out of the millions of carriers, I think it's what, 3 million carriers? Or a million carriers. It's a million carriers. 90% have 6 trucks or less. 97% have 20 trucks or less. That's why when you see these companies going under that have 4,000 trucks and all this stuff, of course they were going under. It's too big. They can't shift with the tide. They can't shift with changes. They can't shift with gas. They can't do nothing. And why is 6 a magical number? I'm gonna give y'all a free lesson right now. Y'all ready for this free lesson? You have 6 trucks. And they make $5K a week. That's after everything's paid. You're talking about $30,000. Is my math wrong? My math is wrong. I'm tired, y'all. I'm about to go home. No, all right. $30,000 a week. $30,000 a week times 4 weeks. It's $120,000 1 month. And this is again, somebody's gonna say, what about this and that? Don't quote me. I'm just saying this is before any injuries, accidents, any of that BS. Times 12 months, 1.4. I was writing one thing off. 4,000,000. Now, of course, you're gonna have, I know y'all can't see it, but work with me. Let's say by the end of the year, you talk about driver pay. Driver pay gonna be around $430K. Okay. Then you talk about insurance. You're talking about for 6 trucks, 100,000 insurance. No, closer to 120,000. All right. So I'm gonna tell you what that is right now. Minus driver pay, minus 120K in insurance. You're talking about at that point, your company's made 890. Put in chat. Dollars. Can y'all see that in the chat? Now, of course, people are gonna say, Erica, what about taxes? What about taxes? You don't have to turn it right off, but let's just even be hardcore. Let's say 1/3 of that goes to taxes. I'm giving y'all a really good lesson right now. I hope you're paying attention. So let's say that's $267,000 in taxes. Okay. That'll leave you with $623,000. This is why when I meet a lot of guys who get 6 trucks, they don't get any more. They don't want more work. With 6 trucks, they can dispatch it themselves. So, and they can walk around and say they have a $1.5 million company. Texas is one of the biggest states with $1.5 million truck companies. And they're going to take that $600,000 that they make, and they're going to live a good life. Why? Because the average person makes $30K a year in this country. Then the next level average person makes $100K a year in this country. That's a select group of people. So now you're making $600,000 a year. Are you going to strive for more? Or are you going to be good old boy comfortable? I just gave y'all a free lesson. I hope you paid attention. I hope you wrote some of those numbers down. I just gave you why 90% of the industry only has 6 trucks or less. They don't even care. They don't care. And I can tell you right now, most people, if they have a problem with one of their authorities, they'll go make a second authority. Put 6 trucks on it, and then they got a business that just makes 1.4 million all the time. I just gave y'all so many gems. I hope you're paying attention. I don't even know who Tasty is from Orange is the New Blacks. I don't know who that is. Thank you for the $10 super chat, Brand Seals. Can you do an episode on how to buy things at auction, or do you have a course? I don't have a course. I may do it at one point. How much for capital investors? I sent an email out. I put out for capital investors 15 to 20 grand. That's what I did, and they get payments for 4 months or whatever. Sometimes Cornelius. Sometimes. But one of them. Well, Lewis, that's what I don't drive any trucks myself. Exactly, Gigi Brown. I think some people are exaggerating. Ooh, Mrs. White, that's hard. There's so many factors in that. I can't even give you an answer. Ben, nah, Ben, I'm not gonna be here forever. I'm gonna wrap this up here shortly. Kadice, I would say go talk to a freight broker. I'm not a freight broker. Joshua Hill, not yet. I recommend Trucking Justin's Authority course. I literally took his course and went step by step with it. That's over 50K a month. Again, I'm just want to get y'all. This is part of why once I got deeper into this industry, people were like, "Oh, I thought you said you were never gonna go hardcore, big fool, and that." I said, "Listen, once I started looking at these numbers and I started going to banquets and dinner events and going to places where dentists were talking about they had trucks in the oil field. Come on now, okay? Like, we gonna talk real money or we gonna talk other stuff?" No, B. Marie, it's not. There's plenty of people looking to work right now. You keep asking that question, you can go on Indeed.com and see it's not. Cash App, SW Investment. Thank you, I appreciate that. Thank you, Cam. Thank you for everybody thank you, Mark. Thank you, Lewis. And thank you. You have a weird something for your name. I guess it's Priya for the Cash Apps. Thank you for the Cash Apps. I appreciate it. Every Cash App, every dollar makes this show what it is. All right, you guys, but that's basically it. That's the gist of it. There's still money out in the economy. Walmart ain't crashing because there's no money. Target ain't crashing because there's no money. There's people, and so if you have it's the theory of 10, and I would be very careful with that. If you have one doctor in your family, don't everybody call that one doctor like, hey, I got an itch or a bump or something. Even if that's not his specialty, people do that. If you got one family member that's a nurse, everybody in the family like, oh, I know a nurse. If you got one cousin in the army, everybody like, oh, I got a cousin in the army. It's proximity. It's proximity. And now that I've had a chance to be in more proximity, thank you, Q. Thank you, Q, for the $5 Cash App. Thank you, Q. Whoever Q is, thank you in the chat. I appreciate it. I think you have a question, but I can't. What is this? I think you have a question. Q said coffee. Coffee's for winners. Well, let me go ahead and drink it then. Thank you, Q. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I don't know. I got to ask AM1 when the video is dropping. Texas is not shutting down. Listen, Healthway, let me tell you something. I don't want to hurt y'all feelings. I really don't. I don't want to be disrespectful or come off arrogant. I'm in Texas. And when I say I'm in Texas, I'm not just in Texas. I'm one of those people, and I'm just going to be honest. I go to Republican Party conventions. I go to small town business chamber of business information. I go to all the stuff. See, y'all don't see all the stuff I do. I don't put everything on YouTube. But I spend most of the day talking to executives and business people in Texas. Let me tell you, Texas is the kind of state where they say F you to the government. I don't care if it's Donald Trump. They say F you, and they go on about their day. I keep trying to explain this to people that truck drivers don't want to drive outside of Texas. Every day I have 30 to 40 people responding to an Indeed ad talking about they're willing to relocate from Ohio, from New Jersey, from everywhere to come to Texas. I had a dispatcher job only paying $18 an hour, and people in California applied for the job. Trying to leave California for Texas. Texas makes so much money off people just the idea that they can come here and start anew. Honey, Texas is not letting it close. I really get exhausted trying to explain to people who aren't here, even if you are here, if you're actually inside, not outside, but inside on business. Literally, we have a Congress and a House in Texas full of representatives who are in trucking, who have trucking stops, who have investments. Again, I'm not trying to cause any drama. I posted about truck stops being wide open in Texas because they are. Outside of Texas, what you have to realize is some of these little rinky-dink mom and pop shops are the franchise owners of some of these truck stops. So you go through a town and they don't even want to serve truck drivers or let them use the bathroom. There's nobody to make them do it, except for the shame, right? We're shaming them into doing it because they're lazy and they're bums, okay? They're making money off truck drivers, buying all that gas, buying supplies, and leaving. They don't even want to take the time to clean the bathroom so the drivers can use the bathrooms. That's a lazy and terrible business. Yo, y'all hitting it. Thank you. Thank you, Cameron Rice for the $10 super chat. Thank you, Cameron Northern for the $5 super chat. I'm sorry, do you want to know what their real names? Let me see your other names. Thank you so much. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Thank you. Thank you, Sam, for the $10 cash app. I'm sorry, they're not super chats, they're cash apps. Sorry, I apologize. Thank you for the cash apps. I appreciate every single one of them. But I want to say this, and I keep saying this because I think y'all think I'm being a jerk about it, but Texas is different. Texas, North Carolina, and South Carolina are number 1, 2, 3, and 4 states that go, thank you, government, we'll do whatever we want. Now, South Carolina and North Carolina are probably more in tow because they have an older population, okay? But right now, Texas is that place where our government's like, the bulk of our money comes from people coming into the state, liquidating their whole life savings from California, Ohio, Pennsylvania. Like there's people who literally, whole families relocate to Texas. Mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, cousins. Texas is staying open. When I did the video that Texas will have no recession, trust me, I'm going to enough meetings and virtually going to meetings right now where towns are saying, guess what? We're opening in June. I don't give a blank what the government says. June, we're opening. We're going to take all this money from summer trips. We're going to take all this money in state parks. We're going to open. Now, when you get to Austin, you got a lot of liberals, you got a lot of stuff where they're like, they shouldn't be at the parks. They've been petitioning for 3 weeks for people not to be at the park. Tell me why I drove. Not today because it was raining, but I think 2 days ago, every single park all over the state was full. All the places are having people do the drive up to get their food. Trust me, when I say this, and I'm trying to not be a smart A, Texas is not having a recession and it's not closing. Like even they had to force Texas construction to stop here in Austin. Guess what they did? Companies who had low income housing said, well, we have, big old apartment complexes. We have 2 or 3 units that are low income. So you got to let us keep building. So guess what they're doing? Still building. Texas is not like everywhere else. You know why? We don't have enough police to enforce it. We don't have enough state troopers to enforce the size of Texas. We can't even stop all the people running across the border in Texas. So when people tell me we're going to shut down Texas, how, baby? We don't have enough police. We don't have enough state troopers. We don't even have enough military to do it. When they sent all those National Guard down to Texas border, they like, what you want us to do? Because if we really spread the soldiers out, it'd be 1 person per mile. That's how big Texas border is. So every time y'all come in these little things and tell me about Texas is this, Eric. I'm telling you, I live here. I live here. I invest here. I'm in the community here. I'm in the voting sessions here. I'm one of the business owners that is here. So again, every time y'all sit here and tell me about Texas, I laugh because I'm like, we're so big, we can't do it. Even if you said, even if the government came down and said, stop everything in Texas. The police are like, well, what police? With what police force? With what union? You gonna send the UN down here? How you gonna shut Texas down? I keep trying to explain that to y'all, and I think y'all think I'm joking. There's not enough police to do it. There's not enough state troopers. We don't even have enough border control as it is now. So what are you talking about? Alaska, they don't even have enough police. They've never had enough police. They never will. So again, y'all talking about stuff and stuff happening, and I'm laughing because what you saying is crazy because he can't do it. If I wasn't married, I'd relocate to Texas too. My husband ain't trying to hear it though. Hey, it is what it is. Exactly, Dominic. Those bathrooms are nasty. Private lenders every day of the week. Banks are acting crazy. Private lenders. Shelly, you come out, you moved to Austin yesterday. Come on back, girl. Tell them come on back. Come on to Texas. Target is giving their workers 60 hours per week until whenever. Online orders are going crazy. Target and Walmart are being pressured from the executive people I'm hearing all in this region. Target and Walmart are being pressured to lower and limit the foot traffic they have. Because people in Target, like it's a regular A day, like, just gonna pick up baby supplies, gonna pick up food. They in there, okay? They just in there living their best life. You really good. If the nation is opening June, that means we have 3 months to find something to sell or sell it to our people. Family reunion was supposed to be in Dallas in July. We're still trying to go visit. Texas is a large state. Why y'all get me? Because y'all get me riled up. Because here's the thing. I'm a business owner who is actually invested in this state. I'm actually invested in North Carolina too, but I'm invested in this state because I know what's coming and because I've read enough diagrams to see how much growth. Like they're building in this one area 8,000 houses in an area that we think is like nowhere land outside of Austin, Texas, but we already see what's happening. The houses are 170,000, and people who can't afford a 200, 300, 400,000 house, they live in Austin. They go into where? Gerald. You know? When I see stuff along the highway that's planned for 5 years out, when I'm sitting here showing you Austin, Texas has 37 skyscraper planned, and people sitting here arguing me about Texas gonna close. They're gonna close. Texas is gonna close, Erica. I know. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. I'm in too many business meetings a day where literally congressmen are like, I will go up there every day and raise Cain if they try to close us down. Trust me, I don't care what Trump is saying. There are people in Texas right now who are the biggest lobbyists in America. Again, when people talk to me about trucking and automated trucking, the reason I go off on you because you don't know what you're talking about. This is a $700 billion industry. I literally had someone come over and shook my hand at the office. I was like, dang, how you find me? And they wanted me to come to a banquet that was $5,000 a plate because it was all about lobbyists, basically lobbyists for Texas trucking. And they're like, oh, we went on the FMCA and saw you had 12 trucks. So, you're one of the big carriers. So we just want to see if you want to come to this banquet. And I'm like, ain't we supposed to be shut down right now? How are we selling banquet tickets to an event that's going to have at least 200 people there if Texas is supposed to be shut down? Again, I keep telling y'all think y'all know something. You don't know. We ain't closed. Texas ain't closed. We open. They can't even enforce it if they want to. India got 1 billion people out there beating people with canes. Texas ain't going to do that. Texas is not nice. I never see the police in Houston. Let me tell you, Houston and Dallas already done told you don't call them if somebody break in your car. They done already told you if the Dallas police say they ain't even got enough police to come check into your car when somebody break into your car, how they gonna come tell you Texas is closed? Honey, bye. Y'all wear me out with that. We're gonna close Texas. Texas gonna close. Who told you that Texas gonna close? Are they here? Are they on Congress? Are they on boards? Are they sitting on executive seats? Do they not realize over 7,000 CEOs moved to Austin, Texas? Who's going to tell Austin they close? Who's telling all these CEOs to stay home? Right now, I can tell y'all right now, if you go over to the private planes in Georgetown, Texas, where I take my plane classes, private plane classes, so I can get my pilot's license, they released 30 planes that were up and flying yesterday. Going about their business. Trust me, again, we got CEOs here. We got the capital. We are the capital of Texas. You're not telling us nothing. Again, they still building in Dallas. They still building in Houston. Exactly. Texas got all these little small towns. Ain't nobody coming to that small town telling they 2 police force they have, they going to sit down and do what? Listen, I'm just telling you right now. Folks just straight kicking it in Walmart. They was in Walmart like it was a party. There was all these black people just walking around Walmart. I'm like, what y'all doing up in here? They just want to get out of the house. See, listen, we already had 3. Okay, I'm going to say this and I might get flagged. The video might get flagged. Texas is 50%. If you go look at the children numbers, we were 55% Hispanic children under 18. We already were Hispanico. The reason the white population is even holding on in Texas right now is the 5 million people that moved from California in the past 5 years. That's it. That's the only reason. You have millions of people moving from Ohio, Pennsylvania. I'm being honest, white Americans moving here. It's the only reason we still have maintained that population for children under 18. Thank you. East Texas, West Texas are like 2 different countries. Thank you. San Antonio is on and popping. Like San Antonio police told them 3 weeks ago, everybody go home, stay home. Nobody out after 9 o'clock. San Antonio is on and popping. Engineer life skills. I can verify everything is open in Texas. Just can't dine in. Closed on my building too. Everyone was available. I can't wait. I'm in California and want to take advantage of opportunities as people run. Non-stop semi-trucks on the highway. That's right. Gated community in Texas ain't having it either. Let me tell you, I went to, and y'all can find this out on your own if you're here. I went to Lakeway. All the grocery stores in Lakeway, full of supplies, full of everything. No wait, no lines, no nothing. And that's the wealthier for Austin. Thank you. See, Woman 83. I live in Texas. I don't see it shutting down. They can't. So Adrian Ford, he's saying, COVID is going to spread like wildfire. Here's my argument to that. If it was going to spread, I'm trying not to say the word so my channel doesn't get demonetized, it would have already happened. We have the largest immigrant population that live in multi-people. I'm talking about 7, 8, 9 people living in one house population in the country. If it was going to come like wildfire, if it was going to spread like wildfire, it would. You know who's spreading it like wildfire? New York. New Yorkers are tucking tail, running from New York, going down to North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Alabama, infecting people. That's what they're doing. It's New York. That's where it's going to be wildfire. There's whole islands in North Carolina. We have 13 islands in North Carolina, 13 in South Carolina. They had to isolate and close and quarantine because New Yorkers came down to the beach houses and were infected and passed out and went to the hospitals. That's the only way. That's how it got there, is New Yorkers. You're talking about densely populated areas like New York. 2/3 of all the people in Texas live in Houston. If it's going to pop off, it's got to be Houston. That's it. When I talk about how dense, people are like, oh, it's so dense there, it's so dense there. It's really not. We have 71 cases in Round Rock, Williamson County, and it's the number 2 in the nation for suburb housing. You know why? Because people in their house minding their business, and if they walk at the park. They ain't breathing on each other. They ain't coughing on each other. They don't live on top of each other in apartments. It's Texas. This isn't like anywhere else. This is Texas. It's Texas. I-35 stretch between San Antonio to Dallas needs to be a 12-lane superhighway. It really does. And everybody right now is like, since everybody's home, which it really aren't, but after 9 o'clock, it does die down in Texas. Really does die down. Why don't y'all fix the roads? Put them drivers out there and get to fixing the roads. I'm actually concerned about the banquet because I feel like it's supposed to be, I think, June. I'd have to go look at my notes. But I was like, we all meeting here eating this food. I was in Lakeway last week for an appointment, and Randall's was packed with food. Exactly. You know what I'm talking about. You know exactly where I'm talking about. In Florida, there's so many Spanish and Rican neighborhoods. Yep. Just hit Texas on the way to California. That's true. All the health food stores have plenty of food. Yeah. So many YouTubers moved to Texas. That's right. Austin has a high number of YouTubers. New Yorkers are packed like sardines. Yeah. You can't come to Florida with them New York tags. New Yorkers are not alarmed. That's right. They're not allowed in short-term rentals in South Carolina starting today. Executive order. It's too late. Them New Yorkers have been clogging up the highways coming out of Virginia ever since. All those people with Virginia and Baltimore Airbnbs, they're full of New Yorkers. New York and California is the nation's problem. They really are, though. All right, so look, I've been here an hour, 30 minutes. I gotta go. It's enough. I've set it up. I've talked enough. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for cash apping me. You know, every movie I see where it's sci-fi, New York is where it breaks out, and then we have to blow up the bridges in New York. So I'm just saying, that's what happens every time. That's right. So, all right, you guys, this is your Erica from the Classy Climb blog. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for participating. Again, there'll be no recession in Texas. We are still building. We're still going. We're still rooming. Our rest stops will stay open. Again, these other rest stops that are owned by mom and pop franchises are going to have to bend to the will of the people, and they're going to have to open up. So, honey, key, trust me. I know about that too, but we ain't gonna talk about that here on this show. But anyways, you guys, this is your girl Erica from the Classic Club blog. If you will look in the community slides or the stories, you'll see all the different vitamins I talk about taking and supplements. I'll also probably at some point in the future link you guys to my holistic channel because it's good. But you guys be good. This is your girl Erica, Classic Climb blog. Stay safe out there.